Good morning. Morning, class. Welcome to the official press conference for the 20th edition of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships. This morning's press conference will be delivered in two parts, with our officials speaking first, followed by the athletes. For the first part of today's press conference, we are joined by World Athletics CEO John Ridgen, who is an alumnus of these championships when they were held in Athens in 1986, where he picked up both gold and silver. That's my bonus secured for the year, I think, right? Yeah. We are also joined by President of the Peruvian Sports Institute, Federico Tong Hurtado, and President of the World Under-20 Lima 24 Local Organising Committee, Javier Cherinos. We will first hear some opening remarks from both John and Federico before we open to the floor for questions, at which point I will ask you to raise your hands, a microphone will come to you, and if you could state what organisation you are from and your name, and we will then wait for your questions. Once these questions conclude, there will be a short photo call for the officials and the athletes together, and then we will pass over to the athletes for their part of the press conference. So let's get the show on the road, and John, if I can ask you to step to the podium.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this eve of competition press conference for these World Under-20 Championships here in Lima. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for the athletes, particularly, to be here. We won't keep you long, and you can get back to the training track very soon, I promise. Let me try and just set the scene a little before we dive into some questions. Look, we're absolutely delighted that this city, this wonderful city of Lima, is hosting the World Under-20 Championships for the very first time. We've got a perfect stadium for this event, and we're going to see some wonderful athletics over the 5 days of the championships, 27th to the 31st of August. I should start by giving a big thank you to the LOC, also the Peruvian Sports Institute, and the municipality of Lima for all of your support in making these championships happen. It's very gratefully received by World Athletics. Now, this is the 20th edition of the World Under-20 Championships, and Lima is the first city in Peru ever to host a World Athletics Series Championship event. And we've got 1,700 athletes from 134 different countries competing here in Lima over the next 5 days, making it both the largest single sport event ever to be staged in Peru, and also the most athletes ever to have competed in this event in its 38-year history. I think both those statistics shows that this championship is in very good health indeed. Some really big nations in terms of teams have been entered, including 100 athletes from the USA, 92 athletes with the German team, and 68 athletes with the Australian team. So some really big teams here, and as I said, the most athletes ever to compete at these championships. Now, we like to think that the World Under-20 Championships is the first time to see the future stars of our sport. And I think that was really brought home to me at the recent Paris Olympic Games, where two former champions from these World Under-20 Championships, Mondo Duplantis and Sydney McLaughlin, both won Olympic golds in world record performances. And I'm sure many of you will go on to great senior performances as well. We also have 22 recent Olympians from Paris who are carded to compete here in Lima, including 2 athletes who were part of the squad that won a silver medal for South Africa in the 4x100 metre relay team. So great to have them here. In addition, if you look back over the history of these Under-20 championships, just 22 athletes have been able to actually defend their titles. And we've got 4 here in Lima who are trying to do just that, defend their titles that they won in Cali 2 years ago. And that's Estonia's Carmen Bruce in the women's high jump, Uzbekistan's Sharifa Davronova in the women's triple jump, Ethiopia's Medina Issa in the women's 5,000, and Jamaica's Karika Hill in the women's 100-metre hurdles. Obviously, the very best of luck to those 4 athletes. So look, all 5 days of the championship will have both morning and afternoon sessions, except for the final day, Sunday, 31st of August, where we'll just have an evening session. And look, we really are looking forward to some truly wonderful athletics over the next few days, with Lima very much being the place to see future senior Olympic and world champions for the very first time in action. I can't wait. And Jamie, back to you.
Thank you. Federico, if you'd like to say a few words.
Welcome to Peru, Mr. John Region, CEO of World Athletics. Bienvenidos todos los deportistas.
To all sportswomen and sportsmen of the 134 countries and more than 1,720 athletes visiting our country. Dear friend, Javier Chirinos, Chair of the Peruvian Federation of Athleticism. I'm deeply moved because we are about to attend to the biggest sports event of this kind in our country. For the first time, we have an event of this size. And as John has just said, it's not only for us, the one in which the biggest number of athletes have participated, but also in the history of world athletics. I'd like to greet the Peruvian delegation, particularly 30 athletes from our country, and something very important, 90% of our 30 athletes come from different regions of our country. And that's an important step ahead for sports in Peru. I'd like to greet Cayetana and those representing us in this session. For the Peruvian government, this is one of the most important events. We've had the participation of a Peruvian delegation, the most important one till now in the Olympics. We just finished the sub-17 volleyball championship, global championship. Peru was usually used to be quite good, and it's restarting. Athleticism is sports we practice all over our regions in the country, and witness to that is the 30 athletes present here. Dear John, I know this is your first time in Peru. Peru is a country with millenary history and culture of more than 5,000 years. We have a delicious gastronomy. We are the only South American capital with a view to the sea, so enjoy that. A bit cold because we have the Humboldt Current, but it has beautiful views. Peru is becoming a very important center because of its geographic location and because the Peruvian government is committed in decisively supporting sports. Sports forms values, unites us, and forms good people. Let the best win of these 134 countries. The strongest, competitively speaking, have come the world over, from the world over. I see Jamaica here, and I also see other important delegations from the southern part of this continent. We have an Olympic cycle agenda. We're preparing for Los Angeles 2028, and this U20 athletics championship is very important. So enjoy from 27th to 31st August of this country, this competition, fraternity, and we'll make an important announcement, I think, Javier, for a future event that is soon coming. So be welcome, and I hope the success of this U20 World Championship is guaranteed. It'll be a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And finally, Javier.
Buenos días. Yo sí seré breve, no tenía preparado ningún discurso.
Haven't prepared any speech. John, welcome to Peru. Federico, thank you very much for your presence here. Dear friend Lelio, I must thank all my team as chair of the Peruvian Federation of Athleticism. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my team. Welcome to Lima. Thanks.
Okay, so if we open to the floor for questions, please. Who's first? Any questions? Yes. Gentlemen.
John, how do you feel, how do you live this World Championship as in a charge position after being an athlete?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How do you feel this World Championship now in a charge position after being an athlete?
Yeah, so look, I was an athlete an awful long time ago. I competed at these championships some 38 years ago. It was so long ago, they used to call this event the World Junior Championships before they changed the name. But I know that championship was really important for me because it helped me understand what major championships are about. It allowed me to go the following year to the World Senior Championships in Rome and win a medal at the Senior Championships a year later. And certainly taking part in these championships were a very important part of that journey. And, you know, the world may have changed an awful lot, but I think for the athletes, I think the experience is still the same. I think this is a really important event on their personal journey. And, you know, for some, this will be the pinnacle of their career. But for many, and I'm looking at our 5 athletes now, I'm sure it's just the start of something that's hugely exciting. And so I think this event is as important as it's ever been. And I think the stage is set here for a really successful championship. I know how hard the LOC has worked, and thank you, Javier. And I look at the stadium, and I think it's the perfect stage for the athletes. It looks great. And I know it's winter time here in Peru, but the conditions are still really good. And you know, it's warm or warmish, warm enough. And I expect to see 5 really, really impressive days of athletics. What's also happened is these championships used to be midsummer, but now they're at the end of the summer. So the athletes have had the whole summer to build up. So I'm expecting to see plenty of great performances and plenty of championship records broken.
Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Mariana Primero Caviedes, soy del Media Development Program de World Athletics y AIPS. Y justamente mi pregunta va para el presidente Federico. Quisiera poder saber cuál ha sido esa influencia que tiene en la ciudad a nivel de comercio, hotelería, restaurantes, el hecho de que se realice un mundial como este, un evento tan importante a nivel deportivo? Gracias.
El deporte nos une, pero también dinamiza la economía. Hemos conversado con Javier para hacer un estudio del impacto. Hemos pasado de 15 a 27 hoteles en la capacidad. Se han batido todos los récords y todas las expectativas, ¿no? El impacto que tiene en el posicionamiento de las ciudades.
In the city's positioning and country's positioning. I think that's an intangible, and that's the most valuable thing. The second thing is related to the impact in the economy, particularly concerning tourism service, both hotels and gastronomy, well, not both, hotels, gastronomy, and transportation, the main services that are involved. Concerning taxes, we should also calculate that. I think Peru is just starting an evaluation, so we finally understand that this is not an expenditure, but an investment, and that it not only benefits athletes and the sports community, but the entire country. So we don't have the exact figure, but undoubtedly the amounts are high. I don't want to risk and give you a figure I have not checked. We will do this assessment after the event, and we'd like to communicate and invite other cities in Latin America, like Colombia, for example, hosted the former one 2 years ago. Evidently, the impact it left in Cali was very significant. Additionally, I take advantage of your question in this regard. Ours is a country with an important gap. We are a very centralistic country, and we're strongly working to relaunch sports infrastructure all over the country. The Peruvian Sports Institute has 224 properties that is sports infrastructure that aren't in good conditions. And that's what the government of Peru and our president have pointed out as a priority in this government. I've been in this position just for 2 months, and we'll make an announcement in this regard in the following days.
Hola, hola. Quisiera apoyar un poco, responder un poco el legado que nos deja a nosotros
the answer with the legacy from this event. The federation, the ruling entity of this U20 World Championship, is leaving us a technological legacy. We have a response backup, electronic control, which is the best in South America. Elio confirms. He was asking, where did you buy this? And we bought it in the States. So the technological equipment is world class, and it will allow us to have any international or South American event. And also the social legacy. In the policy we have as Federation, children between 8 and 14 will come for free. And this is a championship for all Peruvians and all the world. I want to see those bleachers full of children, and they have to be there encouraging all the countries who came here.
Thank you.
Gracias.
The lady in the middle there.
La señora de atrás.
¿Cómo está? Muy buenos
Hello,
días.
good
Manuela
morning.
Santos.
Manuela Santos from the Bauman program from World Athletics. My question goes to all this legacy, and that the region, the continent, and the world have known about since Lima 2019, the Pan American Games, a great event here. So what's the government investment in maintaining this legacy and to bring such large events as this one? We know there are other events that are coming, and you'll have the Pan American Games for 2027 too. We know that. Well, we can say what the amount is, no problem. Now, what I'd like to highlight is the history of this World Championship. Due to situations at the beginning of the year, we had to resign to this world event. But independently from politics, at a certain point in time, government contacted us to recover this World Championship and gave all the facilities to achieve this. So the government is making an investment to do so, and this World Athletics that was recovered. That's very important. The investment for this championship is $6 million. At the same time, $6.3 million. 70% are foreign monies World Athletics has modeled, and there are a number of international companies participating in developing this event to ensure quality. There are also Peruvian companies participating and promoting the country. Yeah. Gracias. Hello, my name is Lucas Nasralla. I come from the World Athletics Program. My question is for John. As we know, Colombia hosted the U20 World Championship, and now it's Peru, and we haven't had the South American absolute championship. Do you think there can be any possibilities of doing so?
I assume you're talking to the World Athletics Championships in the future. So, look, let me give you a statistic from the Paris Olympics. 105 nations have now won medals in track and field athletics in the modern era. There were 3 new nations in Paris that won medals, so 105 nations. I think that's probably over twice as many nations that won medals than any other sport, okay? That's how global the sport of athletics is. And to celebrate that, we are absolutely committed to staging our championships all over the world. It's an absolute pleasure to be, for example, here in Lima for these championships. And thank you again for all the efforts that you've both made in terms of supporting these championships. And what I think is really important is that you can't jump straight to hosting a world championships. You have to kind of work through the gears. And I think it was really important, for example, that Cali staged a very successful World Under-20 Championships in the past, as Lima will be doing over the next few days. So there's no reason at all why a city like Cali shouldn't have the ambition, the realistic ambition of staging a future World Athletics Championships. And we would obviously welcome any future interest in staging those championships. We're a global sport. We stage our events around the world, and South America deserves to have at some point the World Athletics Championships in the future. That's for sure.
Vanessa Galvan. I'm from the Media Development Program of World Athletics. My question goes to Mr. Chirinos. In the social media, we have seen that Venezuelan athletes have difficulties to attend this competition. They were saying many wouldn't be able to come. I'd like to know what's the current situation of the Venezuelan delegation in this international competition. Well, we have a visa area, and through the World Athletics website, they have access to this, and they can download a form. In the case of Venezuela, I understand that after the elections, there was a closure of the Venezuela embassy, and they weren't granting visas, and they were coordinating with Brazil for their intermediation. I understand that there were Venezuelan athletes with visas with no problems, but those who had no passport and who needed it could not access to their own country, that had to issue the passport because the embassy had closed. It's a pity, and I hope that gets better for everyone. That's the situation. Tenemos una ultimísima.
Just want to publicly thank World Athletics, all the staff. We know it's not been easy, but most of the questions here came from the seminar that is being organized by you. So it's one more legacy that we can see that will stay in our continent. Quiero también agradecer al Instituto Peruano de Deporte, a la Federación Peruana de Atletismo, por todo el apoyo y dedicación para entregar este campeonato. En nombre de Atletismo Sudamericano.
On behalf of South American athleticism, we know the capacity we have to organize this kind of event. I'd like to congratulate and thank you publicly for this event. Thank you, Federico.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elio, sorry. I got moved before, and it was I was moved by my team, actually. I just chair this federation, but it's the work of the entire team. There's this team behind me. Without them, this would be impossible. We're working hard to achieve this, and we start the event tomorrow. We are still working for this to be successful. Thank you very much for your support, and welcome to Peru, welcome to Lima. We are a very warm country that receives you with arms open. It's a huge event for the first time in the history of Peruvian athletics. Why not having Olympic Games or a World Athletic Championship? Well, we have the infrastructure here, and we are being leveraged also by this championship with all this technology. 30 sports or athletes, sports decentralized from all over the region. Enjoy Lima, and we start tomorrow. We're still working for that.
Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow.
We're very much looking forward to it.
Muchas gracias, Javier.
Athletes, if I could just ask you to come to the front now for a photo call with the officials, please.
We can share. I think there's one. Hey, Tori, can you come? Can you share with them? Okay. Thank you for waiting a few minutes for us to set up. y bienvenidos a la segunda parte de esta rueda de prensa previa al Mundial Sub-20 de Atletismo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please join me in welcoming here with us 5 athletes who will compete this week in the World Under-20 Championships, and namely Tori Lewis of Australia. Thank you for being here, Tori. Tori is a semi-finalist in the women's 200 at the Paris Olympic Games, although she's only 19 years old still. Yes, we can clap. Alana Reid of Jamaica, who was also in Paris and a finalist as part of the Jamaican 4x1 team. Congratulations. We have Bradley Nkwana of South Africa, who, despite his very young age, did get a medal at the Paris Olympic Games as part of the South African 4x1 relay team. Congratulations, Bradley. Lourdes Gloria Manuel of Czechia, who was also in Paris, a semi-finalist in the women's 400 meters. We have a lot of talent here with us today. And last but definitely not least, Cayetana Chirino, a representación del equipo peruano, who is the 100-meter national champion for Peru. Tori, I'm going to start with you, if you don't mind. Thank you for being here today. Do you have a microphone, or Alana, maybe you can share it? Thank you. You've had such a long season already. I mean, being from Australia, we know you have multiple seasons starting early on in February, April, March. But obviously, one of the highlights must be the Paris Olympic Games, where you managed to qualify for an amazing semi-final in the women's 200, as I said before. What did it feel like to compete in such an amazing venue against the best in the world at senior level?
Yeah, this stadium was so amazing. And I think one of the highlights for me was the purple track. It was just so different from anything I've ever run on. And yeah, the stadium was packed every single day. And yeah, I think it made me more excited than nervous, having that many people there. So I was really excited.
And before the Paris Olympic Games, you also competed in Xiamen Diamond League, and you scored an amazing win. You defeated, among others, the world 100-meter champion, Sha'Carri Richardson. How much of a boost was that performance for you that early on in the season?
Yeah, it was definitely a big confidence boost for me. You know, that was my first time running on a stage that big, and I definitely felt a little bit out of place at a Diamond League. But I just ran my own race on the outside and surprised everyone, and myself included. But I just kind of take it on as experience, really.
And talking about... Sorry, I have to turn my microphone off. Talking about this competition this week, you entered in both the 1 and the 2, right? Are you going to run both?
I'm only going to run the 200 and the relay. Like we said, it's been a very long season. My first race was in January. And with the condensed program, yeah, me and my coach just decided to run the 200 and the relay.
What expectations do you have for yourself and the team?
Well, I want a medal in the 200, obviously, preferably gold. But I will be happy with the personal best. And for the relay team, we have a great group of girls. They've already broken the Australian junior record twice, and this will be my first time this year running with them. So I hope we can break that national record again. And yeah, I believe we can medal in that as well.
As we said, you're only 19. How hard it is for you to spend so much time away from home? I think you have to sacrifice a lot, but for the passion of athletics, is it all worth it?
Absolutely. It's definitely a sacrifice. Like, I think I'll be away for 4 months this year. I mostly miss my dog and my mom, but, you know, I like traveling. I get to see so many countries like Peru, China, so much of Europe, and yeah, I really enjoy it, and I get to run, so I don't mind.
Thank you, Tori, and best of luck. I'm going to move on to Alana. Alana, thank you for being here with us today. you are going to run the 100, right?
And the 4x1.
And the 4x1 as well. So there's going to be an amazing head-to-head coming up. You are currently the fastest in the world in the 100 at World Under 20 level. How much are you looking forward to competing at these World Under 20 Championships in your category finally?
I find the experience as a great one. I competed in the 200 in 2022 in Cali, and I came third. So it's just for me to stay focused, know that I have a dream that I want to accomplish. I know that there are a lot of talented females out there, but it's just for me to stay focused and know that anything I put my mind to, I can achieve. So it's just for me to stay humble and, do my best out there on the track.
As we said before, you were also in Paris, part of the 4x1 team. What lessons have you learned from the Olympic Games? How incredible was it to lead off that Jamaican 4x1 in Paris?
I would say the greatest lesson I learned was to never doubt myself. Sometimes I fall short and sometimes I tend to put people that are older than me before me, but it taught me that nevertheless, I am strong. I'm my own person. It's first for me to stay focused and humble. And it was a great experience being out there with the seniors in the team. It's the first time I've been in a stadium with so much people, so it made me really not nervous. It was just for me to have confidence, go out there knowing that, hey, I've been training, I've been working hard. So it was just for me to go out there and do the best for my team.
And Alana, can you tell us a little bit more about you, where you train, where you live, who you train with, and who maybe you would name as an inspiration to you?
Firstly, I train with Star Athletics in Claremont, Florida, with Shakari, TT, Melissa, and those. It's a great experience. It's a great camp. It's just a camp that you have to stay focused. Each of them push you every day to go out there and do your best. It's a great team. They all, put us together as one. It's just for us to stay focused in that camp, know that, hey, we're here for a purpose and we have a dream. So everybody's as one, and I use that to motivate me every day to tell myself that if they can do it, I can do it also. So it's just for me to stay focused and humble. What was the next question that you asked?
Who would you name as an inspiration?
I would say Shellyanne and Sharika, mainly because of how strong they are and determined, especially Sharika coming from the 4 to the 2 to the 1. It shows me that anything you believe you can achieve. And I really appreciate the fact that nevertheless, anything that she's given, she does it to the best of her ability. And that shows me that, hey, if I'm placed in a specific spot on a relay team, it's just for me to go out there and do my best, no matter the position. And it really teaches me just to stay humble and focus on my dreams.
Thank you very much, Alana. I'm going to pass on to Bradley. Thank you. Best of luck for this week. Bradley, you have a microphone? Yes. So as I mentioned in the introduction, you won an amazing silver medal in Paris as part of the South African 4x1, which was anchored by the legend, Akani Simbine. What memories will you cherish from that experience and teaming with such a legend that Akani is?
Firstly, I'd like to thank God. I think the moment that I'll cherish was the look on Akani's face when he realized that we actually brought a medal back to South Africa. We know how much it means to him, to the team, to the country, especially to my coach, the relay coach. They have worked so much for only them to take 10 years to actually achieve something that we've always hoped to do. We always knew that we had the guys to do it, but we just never had the resources or funds to, put the team into a position where they can actually medal. And once this year, they made a final decision that they will make camps and all of that. So I feel like being out there with the guys and, bonding is what I'll cherish the most.
Did you bring the medal with you? Do you have it, or did you have time to put it in the drawer back home?
Unfortunately, my agent told me not to bring it. I didn't want to bring it, but
But you know where it is, right?
Yeah, I know
it's in safe hands?
It is. Every third day, I ask my dad to take a picture.
Good tactics, good tactics. Bradley, if we look at the history of the World Under 20 Championships and the athletes who have won the 100-meter title before you, it's like a who's who of global sprinting legends. The winner of the 2 previous 100-meter title is Letsile Tebogo. He went on to win the Olympic Games in the 200. Is Letsile an inspiration to you, or who would you name as a role model?
I mean, when I look at Letsile, I just see someone that's bringing Africa to the world, He really put us out there, and, it's not really much I can say about him, but him being really fast. So I guess I'll look up to my grandma. She's a hard worker, you know, she always puts emotions aside to make sure that I'm good, I do my best, and I'm always mentally ready and prepared for anything that can happen on this world. I really do look up to my grandma and hope to make her proud.
I believe your PB is 10:03, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when are you going to break that 10-second barrier?
You know, it'll come, you know, I can't rush it, I can't chase for it because it's something that just happens naturally. Your body will tell you if you're ready for it or not because that's such a huge bracket to break through, you know, because once you go under sub 10, then your body starts needing things, you know, like your recovery needs to be on point and all of that. So I just feel like if I'm ready for it, I will know. But so far, I'm just preparing myself to show my best out there, to compete with the guys. You know, there's a lot of competitors here that are really strong, and hopefully that we give them a show.
Well, best of luck, and let's see if it happens this week.
Thank you.
Lourdes, thank you for being here with us today as well. Like your fellow athletes here, you've had a really, really long season. You were privileged enough to be in Paris. But you've also been in Glasgow World Indoors, in the Bahamas World Relays. You were at the European Championships, now Lima. How challenging or maybe exciting has 2024 been for you so far?
Firstly, I want to thank you all. And yeah, as you say, this season was very long for me, but I think I can say it was very successful for me because I couldn't even imagine that I ever made it to the Olympics at the age of 18. So this was my highlight of this season.
And Lourdes, I think you have an amazing story, very diverse, international, multicultural background. You speak what, 3, 4, 5 languages?
I speak 3 languages: Czech, Russian, a little bit Portuguese, and a little bit French. So, yeah.
¿Español? Nada de español?
A little bit.
So how would you condense the story of your life in like a few minutes?
Yeah, as you say, my dad is from Angola and my mom is from Russia. So my dad was invited to the Russia, and he can study there, like university. And then he met my mom, and after that they went to the Czech Republic. So I had born. Thank you. Born here.
Well, that's amazing. You need to learn a little bit of Spanish so you get to the 5th language. You're currently the fastest entrance at these championships in the women's 400. But there are quite a few athletes who have sub-51 personal bests as well. So how would you describe your expectations for these championships here in Lima?
Yeah, that's true. I think the time is really fast, and the girls are pretty fast too. So I think it will be hard, but I'm trying to do my best, and we will see.
Okay, thank you very much, Lourdes. I'm now going to move on to Cayetana. I think Cayetana prefers to do this in Spanish, so we're going to switch to Spanish. If anybody needs translation, please put your headsets on. Cayetana, gracias por estar aquí a representación del equipo peruano de atletismo. Creo que con tan solo 16 años ya eres una líder del equipo peruano de atletismo. Has establecido récords en varias categorías, sub-18, sub-20, sub-23. ¿Puedes contarnos cómo te has enamorado de este deporte, cuándo empezaste y cómo te has desarrollado en una de las mejores atletas de Sudamérica?
Bueno, deportes desde muy chiquita, he practicado karate, natación, gimnasia, de hecho de todo, pero definitivamente ha sido mi corazón. Mi mis papás practicaban atletismo. Ya lo dejaron, pero estuvieron un tiempo en el atletismo máster. Y por eso fue
competitions. And that's how I started. When I was 13 years old, I participated in my first foreign championship in Serbia, the school World Cup, first time in 100 meters. And I got a silver medal. That was my start as a high yield athlete, high performance athlete. This year, I've been training for 5 months in Brazil with Katsuko Nakaya. That's what I'm doing, and I want to reach Los Angeles 2028. It's, I guess, a big honor to compete here in Lima in front of your family, your friends, your dad, who also chairs the organizing committee. How can you describe this unique opportunity life has given you? It's an honor to participate in Peru again, to represent my country, to don my uniform again. I'm more than happy participating in such a big competition with such high level athletes, the ones sitting here who have even been in the Olympics. I'm very excited, very happy. I'll give my all. And I just have to go on preparing and training. Cayetana, if you had to name an athlete you'd like to know, someone you'd like to train with or just have a talk with, who would you choose? I want to know Sha'Carri Richardson. Can you help this happen, Elena? She wants to meet Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay, that's a date.
Bueno, ya tienen una cita. Gracias, Cayetana.
Raise your hand, and I think we have a microphone somewhere in the room. Hay una pregunta por aquí, por favor. And can you please specify who you're addressing your question to?
Everyone, I'm from the I'm from.
Can you?
Yes,
okay.
sorry. I'm Angelo from the Media Development Program from Athletics. My question is for Bradley and Joanna. First of all, congrats for your medal in Paris.
Thank you.
How useful is this World Championship to your career, to the next Olympics in Los Angeles? What is your main goal in this tournament?
Being here is just a blessing, you know, and I feel like being at this competition is a milestone towards my career. And I was also in the 2022 edition World Junior Championships, but unfortunately I didn't get to run. I had an injury, but you know, I had my coach there to always tell me that there's still a next one, so just prepare yourself, anything can happen. So being here at this championship, I'm really grateful for it. And yeah, I'm looking to bring my A game, you know, just show that I'm one of the best as well.
Thank you, Bradley. We have 2 questions from that side. So this gentleman here, yes? And then the one at the back.
No, soy Franco Lómez del Media Development.
¿El micrófono no está funcionando?
Hola, hola.
Okay.
Ahora sí.
Hello.
Mi pregunta es para Cayetana.
My question is for Cayetana. You spoke about your legacy, what this World Cup means. Your family is also a sports family. You're very young. You're representing Peru in this World Championship. What does this mean for you? Well, since this World Championship is higher than my level, it's an honor to participate here in such a great level and be part of the Peruvian team again. So my goal here is to improve my PB and to break the national record again, and that's in 100 meters and also relays. And well, I'll try to reach the semifinal. That'd be a great honor.
Gracias, Cayetana. The lady, yeah, sorry, the gentleman first, and then the lady.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Rivas Plata. I am from the Media Development Program of the World Athletics. My question would be for Lourdes. You've been qualified as from your Olympic National Committee as one of the youngest promises, one of the higher promises of for the sport in your country. Do you agree with that? How do you feel with that statement from your National Olympic Committee?
I don't know how to describe how I feel because I had
If you want to say in Czech, I think we need help because no one else speaks Czech here.
Okay, so sorry for waiting. I'll be answering for Lourdes. Lourdes says that it was really honor to be nominated as one of the youngest among the Olympians from the Czech Republic. And it is an honor, and she didn't expect it when the season started, that it could be possible.
Thank you. You have a question? Yes. Can we bring the microphone, please? Thank you very much.
Sports. Of course, Alana, you ran at the senior level, and you're now at Paris Olympics. You're here representing Jamaica. You ran the 200 last time. You're now running the 100s. Which is your preferred event? Why do you feel pressured? The last two 100-meter champions was from Jamaica. Do you feel pressured that you will now have to emulate the previous runners? And what's your experience running with Sha'Carri? And what's that experience versus your experience in Jamaica? And for the other Olympians, what is it like now having run in Paris to not come down, but running at the world youth level?
Firstly, I would say that I don't feel pressured. I think being in Paris in that stadium, packed with so many people, I don't think I can ever get nervous again for a race. But it's just for me to stay focused and confident. I mean, I know that the year before, I think Tia won, or Tina, I'm not quite sure. But it's just for me to stay focused and humble and know that I'm capable of doing great things. I've been training, I've been putting in the work. So it's just for me to go out there and give my best on the track. I would also say that training with Sha'Carri and TT is a privilege, honestly. It's something that I really look up to. As I said before, they both push me and motivate me every day. They say, hey, you have your championships coming up, but you have the Olympics, so we want you to focus on both. And to know that I should never put anyone before myself, because if God is for us, who can be against us? So I use that to, put myself out there and tell myself that, hey, I'm here for a reason. I have a dream. I have a purpose to be here. So it's just for me to come out here and do my best.
Thank you, Alana. Tori, do you want to start with the second part of the question?
Yep. Can you repeat it again? Sorry. Yeah. It's definitely a difference coming from Paris to here. I feel like in Paris, we were kind of the young ones of the team, and we were just kind of taking in the experience as it came. And in the stadium, you didn't really know what to expect. I feel like I kind of know a little bit more what to expect here, and I have higher expectations of myself here, to hopefully medal and all of that. And with the team, as we're the older ones on the team, setting a good example for maybe the younger people on the team as well. So it's definitely a difference, but it's a good difference.
Bradley?
Being in Paris was just a good experience, you know. The 80,000 plus people there was just nerve-shocking, but I was able to handle myself well. And coming into this championship, I feel like I'm more ready, I'm more focused, and I have high expectations on myself as well, my coach as well, and my teammate Benjamin Richardson has set a high standard in our group, and I'm looking forward to also putting that high standard as well. You know, he's done so much, he's achieved so much as a junior, and he's doing that as a senior as well. His transition was also one of the best in our group, so I also look forward to doing the same. So, thank you.
And Lourdes?
Being in the Olympics is such a big difference from the, for example, European Championships, and I think for me it was like about the confidence and recovering, more training, focusing, and all of this stuff. So I'm grateful that I had this experience.
Thank you very much. I think we have time for one last question, so let's go there.
Hi, my name is Mariana Primero Caviedes. I am a young reporter of the Media Development Program of World Athletics. And my question is for you, Bradley. Can you send a message or advice for the young athletes that dreams with a medal Olympic? Yes, what is your message for us?
I feel like my message to the young ones and the upcoming is don't limit yourself, you know. Even if you feel like you're the youngest, but to the world you are someone and you have value. So don't limit yourself, and anything is possible, you know, through God, anything is possible. Just push yourself to the limit, and yeah, don't let the seniors belittle you, you know. So just run your heart out and have fun, you know. That's always important, just have fun.
Well, thank you guys. This has been amazing. Best of luck to each and every one of you from tomorrow onwards. We're looking forward to watching you competing. And before we let you go, can we just have a group picture here for our photographers? Thank you very much, and thank you, everyone.